I'm 25 years old, and my entire life fell apart because of a lie my childhood best friend told about me. When I was 6 years old, my family moved into a new neighborhood. The house next door had a boy my age named Juan, who is now 28. We bonded instantly. From that point on, we were inseparable. We grew up together, our families were close, and for most of my life I considered him more of a brother than a friend. When I left home to attend university a few hours away, Juan stayed in our hometown. He visited me often, stayed over, and nothing about our friendship ever changed. We trusted each other completely. During my second year of college, I met Laura, who is now 27, in an economics class. We realized we had several mutual friends, so we started studying together. She was smart, attractive, and easy to talk to. We went on a few casual dates, but there was never any deep chemistry. It fizzled out naturally, and we stayed friendly afterward. We weren't close, but we ran into each other at parties, shared group chats, and stayed on good terms. In my final year of college, I introduced Juan and Laura at a party. For Juan, it was love at first sight. He immediately started asking me questions about her, and I was upfront about our brief history. He seemed uncomfortable with the fact that Laura and I had gone on a few dates, but I reassured him there was absolutely nothing there. They started dating seriously, and Juan was over the moon. After graduation, I accepted a job 4 hours away from home. Not long after, Juan and Laura moved in together in our hometown. At first, I visited frequently, but as adult life took over, we eventually only saw each other during holidays. Last Christmas, my family hosted a Christmas Eve party with Juan's family. During the celebration, Juan proposed to Laura. It was heartfelt and emotional, and everyone was thrilled. The rest of the holiday revolved around wedding talk, and everything seemed completely normal. I fully expected Juan to ask me to be his best man. He even hinted at it during the holidays, but the official ask never came. Weeks passed. He stopped returning my calls as often. Eventually, I received a save-the-date card in the mail, but still nothing about my role in the wedding. I finally called him directly to ask. That's when he told me he didn't think I should be part of the wedding at all. His reasoning was that I lived too far away and coordinating wedding events would be too difficult. Instead, he was naming his cousin someone he doesn't even like as his best man. I was deeply hurt. I reminded him that I could take time off work, fly in whenever needed, and that distance wouldn't be an issue. He ignored all of that and suddenly shifted the conversation to whether I'd be bringing a date to the wedding. This confused me. He knew I had just gone through a painful breakup. I told him I'd probably come alone. He insisted on keeping my +1 open and encouraged me to find a date so I wouldn't feel lonely. I assumed he was being thoughtful. After that conversation, communication faded almost entirely. I noticed on social media that he had an engagement party I wasn't invited to. It hurt, but I told myself we were just drifting apart. Then, just weeks before the wedding, Juan called me again. One of his groomsmen had dropped out, and he wanted me to fill the spot. I wouldn't attend any of the pre-wedding events, but I'd be part of the wedding party itself. Relieved and excited, I accepted immediately. He explained that they were doing an inverted color scheme. The bride and groom would wear black, while the wedding party would wear white. It sounded unconventional, but Juan had always liked standing out. He apologized for the short notice and asked if I could get a white suit in time. I already owned one. I sent him a photo during the call. He verbally approved it and later reacted with a thumbs up in our message thread. That detail matters. An hour before the ceremony, Juan told the groomsmen to change so we could take photos. I went into the bathroom, put on my white suit, and walked back out. Every other groomsman was wearing blue. I was the only one in white. My stomach dropped. I immediately thought back to the conversation with Juan. I hadn't misunderstood. He had clearly said white. Juan stood in the center of the room with a resigned expression and said to his cousin, "I told you he'd do something like this." His cousin confronted me, laughed, and accused me of trying to make the day about myself. Then the accusations escalated. He shouted that I was jealous, unstable, and secretly in love with Laura. I completely froze. I barely managed to say that I could go change into another suit at my parents' house. Juan cut me off and said, I think we both know this is the end of our friendship. I've given you too many chances. It's time for you to leave. I didn't even understand what he meant, but I knew it was bad. I grabbed my keys, left everything else behind, and ran to my car still wearing the white suit. 30 minutes later, my phone exploded. Friends, relatives, even people I barely spoke to were texting me, calling me bitter, jealous, unhinged. My own mother texted me saying how disappointed she was and that we'd talk when they got home. I got drunk waiting. When my parents arrived, the conversation made no sense. My father wouldn't even look at me. My mother insisted she knew I'd never been told to wear white. Then she said, "After everything else you did." I asked what she meant. That's when the truth came out. For months, Juan had been telling everyone that I was mentally unstable and obsessively in love with Laura. According to him, my breakup happened because of my feelings for her. I had given him an ultimatum, her or me. I refused to be his best man because I couldn't support their marriage. I'd had a breakdown before the engagement party. All lies. In every version, Juan painted himself as the patient, suffering friend trying to support someone going through a mental health crisis. My mother didn't believe me until I handed her my phone. She scrolled through months of messages. No ultimatums. No obsession. No drama. Then she saw the photo of the white suit. And the thumbs up. That's when everything collapsed. My father had to be physically calmed down to stop him from confronting Juan. The next day, I sent screenshots and call logs to multiple people. Unfortunately, I'm a graphic designer, so many accused me of photoshopping the evidence. Only 3 people believed me. My parents, and one groomsman, a college friend of Juan's, who said he could tell by my face that I was genuinely shocked. He told me Juan had changed after a severe case of COVID and had become cruel and narcissistic. My reputation was destroyed. Update. 2 months later, I shared screen recordings of my message history. The fallout split people into groups. My hometown friends, many deeply influenced by Juan, didn't believe me. My college friends immediately did. I eventually sent the evidence to Laura. She never replied. 2 nights later, Juan drove drunk to my parents' house, hit their mailbox, and screamed that I had destroyed his marriage. Laura had left him. I'm not celebrating. I'm exhausted. A management position has opened in another country. It would be a promotion. I think leaving might be the only way to feel safe again. That's where my story ends. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like and subscribe.